Alright, the name of this movie is called The Boy Who
Did
Lost
you
It
press
All.
play yet?
Yeah.
Or record it?
Yeah.
What's the name of the movie?
The Boy Who Lost It All.
The Boy Who Lost It All. Okay, well, and obviously, it's a well-to-do family. They are, I mean, I wouldn't say they're millionaires or billionaires or anything like that, but, they're pretty well off. They live in Land Park, which is not far from here. Both the parents combined probably make about $400,000. They have the natural, lavish lifestyle. They have a maid. They have, a caretaker who takes care of the dog and the yard and all that stuff.
The Boy Who Lost It All.
So the parents raise their son well, so they think. I mean, they're not always there for him. They're working, so a lot of times he's taken care of by the nannies and the butlers and whatnot. So he goes to a private school. He's kind of got a sheltered lifestyle. And as things go on, he grows up. He has to go off to college. They send him to a private college, to Loyola Marymount. Yeah, it's a private college. He's going there to study to be a businessman like his dad. He's going to be. He's going to take over the family business. They own.
In 1 minute.
I have as long as I want.
No, I can't. This is too long.
No, they own a company that gives EBT cards to people. He's going to take that over, so he goes to business school. And he's doing well in school, he's studying, but then he gets involved with the wrong crowd, I guess you'd say. They kind of like to party a little too much and a little bit too extreme. So they're starting to experiment with things that he wouldn't usually be into, hallucinogens and things the like. So one day he's with his friends and they're doing some kind of crazy drugs and he does it, and he stabs a man in the back, like literally, like not like it's not like his friend that he told on him and he stabbed him in the back. It's literally like a homeless guy walking down the street and he thinks it's funny to just stab him in the back with a knife. So he does that, and they decide they have to cover it up. So in order to cover it up, they pour acid all over his body in a hole in the backyard of the frat house. And he disintegrates, but little did they know that homeless man wasn't homeless at all. He was part of a freshman experiment at the school where you want to put yourself in the shoes of a homeless person for one day. So he's thinking this homeless man's not going to be missed at all, but it's actually a functioning member of the community.
The most valuable...
What?
The most valuable frat guy?
No. He's a functioning member of society. So eventually people start to ask questions like, where's my friend? Where's my son? Is what his parents would say. And he's buried in the ground, melted. And so the guilt starts to pile on for this kid, and eventually he tries to convince himself that he never even did it. He didn't. This was all just a bad dream for him. When in reality, he's a murderer. So he starts to lose his mind, and the only way.
And that's when he lost it all?
No, he didn't. No, stop it. So in order to try and cope with it, he feels that the only rush he can ever get is when he kills a person and tries to cover it up. So he just goes on a killing spree of just, taking innocent lives here and there. He'll find a random person and just murder them. He's a terrible person.
I don't want you to talk anymore.
Well, finally, Robert Downey Jr. comes, and he's like a detective, and he just starts to ask questions. He's like, hey, I know you go to Loyola Marymount here, and in the area, there's been a lot of murders. And I was just thinking what your opinion is on that. And he doesn't have any reason to suspect this kid of being the murderer, but the kid's like, I think it's amazing. You got to thin out the herd, We have population issues as a country, and we just got to get rid of that. And so he gives a creepy answer. So then Robert Downey Jr. knows there's something up. So he investigates more and more into it. He's like spying on this kid, and he notices the kid just killing people. He's like, holy cow, what's up with this kid? He should arrest him. But he's so interested, he lets it go on, and he just watches. He becomes kind of like a voyeur for this whole stuff. So the kid is totally, like, he doesn't go to school anymore. He's failed all of his classes. He didn't drop them or anything. He doesn't care. Hasn't talked to his parents in months. He's just given his whole life away to be some kind of a serial murderer. And then finally comes to a climax when he finds out that Robert Downey Jr. has been following him. So he tries to kill Robert Downey Jr., but he falls off a cliff and lands on a bunch of spikes and dies.